is. Okay, should be able to see the screen now.
Okay.
The cost function in dollars for X units of a certain item is given. So they give you the cost function. The revenue function for the same item is given here. And they want marginal cost. They want the derivative of this function here. So what is the derivative of C of X? This one, right?
102.
Yeah, it's just 102. C prime of X equals 102. Okay, so let's look at the next part here. Let me snip that in. The next part asks for the marginal revenue. So this one is not multiple choice. Let me snip that in. Okay, and the revenue function, R of X, is given as minus X squared plus 150X. So you have to take the derivative of this function here.
So minus 2x plus 150.
Perfect. Okay. Next is the marginal profit. Okay. Let me just snip in the question. We'll talk about how to do it. Okay, so to do marginal profit, you need the profit function. Profit is revenue
minus
cost, or R of X minus C of X. So R of X comes from up here. That's minus X squared plus 150X minus the cost function. I put it in parentheses. It's 102X plus 91. Okay. So this is your profit function.
Where'd you get the 91?
Just back from the original, right there.
Okay.
Because now maybe you're thinking like, well, Matthew, can't I do profit prime equals revenue prime minus cost prime? And the answer is yes. But what I was trying to do is show you the equation and then take the derivative.
That's how I usually do it. I do minus and then I differentiate what I find usually.
Okay, so for example, you know that the cost derivative is 102, and then the revenue derivative, as we just found, is minus 2x plus 150.
So 150 minus 102 is going to be like 48. So
yeah, so you can simplify this if you want, but the question actually asks, and we got to go back and look at it to make sure. It says, let me just grab the highlighter here, when eight units are sold.
So we find the profit, differentiate the profit, and then
you have to put 8 in for X. Minus 2 times 8. But oh, this is plus 48. Plus 48. So this equals 32. And then when you get your answer space, let me snip that in. You can see that it's right there between those two.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's look at some others here. How about 35? Can I jump to 35 or is that too far ahead?
Sure.
Okay. All right, find all locations of the relative extrema and tell whether each is a maximum or minimum. So extrema refers to the derivative. So you have to be able to find G prime of X, and you're going to use power rule.
Okay.
So can you tell me the derivative of this?
Minus 3x squared plus 6x plus 24.
minus 3x squared plus
Plus
6x plus 24. Okay, now you set this equal to 0.
and then solve the equation and whatever number is
Yeah,
a critical number or something like
exactly. So you're going to factor -3 out, x squared minus 2x minus 8.
this
So it's
is where
fat.
this is where I make mistakes. I'm sorry.
That's
Excuse me.
okay.
Excuse my dog, but when I like have to like it depends on like what I get again when I solve for 0 and there's like cube or square, I always make mistakes.
Okay. Well, I mean, your instructor is going to make it so that you can factor. This isn't this is one of those skills that you learned in a previous class, and they're going to expect that you know how to do this.
Yeah, I know, but I always make mistakes. Like it's not hard, but I make mistakes though.
Well, you've got some time. I mean, the factoring here is not like the most difficult type of factoring.
Okay. Like I know how to do it, but I just make mistakes when it's not just 1 power, there's 2 or 3.
So if it's power of 2, you can always do something like this. Power of 3, you can't do anything.
Okay.
All right. Now, so the two critical numbers are 4 and -2.
And
Because
then
you said x minus 4 equal to 0, and you said x plus 2 equal to 0. Is that okay?
yeah, do we do like a table or is it where we do like
I make a line. I don't think a table is needed.
when do I know when a table is needed and when a number is needed?
I always use a number line. This is because I think it works for everything. This is your g prime of x line. And then you test, you need 3 test points.
Okay.
So it's kind of a table, but it's kind of not. So your test points are like 0, -5, and 5.
And then we just say if it's like plus or minus.
Right. But let me ask you, do you remember what this parabola looks like? Like what the shape of it looks like? Does it open up or down? Do you remember?
I think it opens down.
It opens down. So it looks something like that. So you actually don't have to test because the shape of the graph tells you negative, positive, negative.
Okay. Either way, I always graph it just to make sure.
Okay. This will save you time if you trust it. If you practice a few times, you'll see that this always works. I would tell you if it didn't, but it always works. So there's some rules, right? There's some rules that you need to know, which is that if the derivative goes from negative to positive, that
Mhm.
means the graph is going from decreasing to increasing. So that's a min. And if it goes from positive to negative, it looks like that, and it's a max. So this is something you have to know. You have to remember, memorize, whatever you
Okay.
think.
I'm gonna just do this. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm going to send this to you as a PDF like 2 minutes after we stop.
Okay.
So you're going to have all this, and I'll send you a link to the screen recording.
Okay.
So the next thing here is because it goes from minus to positive, -2 is a min. And that comes right from that rule there that we saw below. Because positive to negative, that means it's a max. And it's from this right down here.
Okay. I think I kind of like know this. It's just that like he gives us so many forms of like problems and like it just depends on the case, on the question.
Of course, yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
always different That's what scares me. It's always different. It's never.
Yeah, it is. You know, more if you have time, keep practicing. If you've been going to class and watching the examples, you know, you probably see a lot of repetition.
Math is the only class I don't skip.
Well, that's a good choice. All right, so 36 here. Notice that they're giving you the derivative here. Okay. And basically, this is important because they're giving you, you're starting at this step right here.
Okay.
Like you don't have to take the derivative. You already dealt with the derivative. Okay. So like, this is great. This is really wonderful because you can already tell me the critical points. The critical points occur when x plus 3 equals 0 and when x minus 4 equals 0.
Oh.
So you don't have to do anything. I
Oh,
mean,
it's already factorized for me.
so -3 and 4.
So I think the parabola is like opens downward.
Yeah, it opens down because of that. So again, like I draw the shape of this graph, but if you just trace your finger and you're like, oh yeah, it goes like that, you realize that this is negative, positive, negative.
Okay.
And then you use the same rules that we talked about up here. A negative to a positive is a min. So this is a min because it goes from negative to positive. And then 4 is a max because it goes positive to negative.
Got it. Okay.
All right. 36. Okay, let's do 30.
Can you do the complicated one so I don't get surprised?
Well, they're all the same.
Really?
Well, when you've been doing these as long as I have, they're all the same. They're just they're truly equal difficulty because you just have different stuff to do. And that's why I encourage you to do as many problems as you can over and over again. You will
42 after this one.
What's that?
42.
42. Do you want us to go right there to 42 now?
Like after this one.
Let's just get right to it. Because this one is one that most students really struggle with. Okay, so this one, there's a lot here. Okay, you're trying to find profit. Sorry, let me get back to the black pen. Okay, so
yeah, function, I have to figure it out on my own.
Yeah, profit is revenue minus cost. So we got to figure out revenue first. Revenue is first. Revenue is price times quantity. So your price is $90, but they want to increase the room by X dollars. So it's going to go 90 plus X. That's your price.
Not times X.
So that comes from that right there. Their quantity, okay, it's 290 to start, but then it goes down by X. So this is your quantity.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is very important. If price goes up, quantity goes down.
Okay.
If price goes down, quantity goes up. But generally it's this first one that you see all the time. So one's gonna be positive, one's gonna be negative.
Okay.
All right. So let's just get the revenue function here. And this is probably a part of the test where you'll have a calculator. So you got to multiply this out. Okay. So the 90 times 290 is actually irrelevant. You don't need to ever deal with that. Then you have minus 90x plus 290x minus x squared. So your revenue as a function of x is minus x squared plus 200x plus this 90 times 290. I know it feels like that matters, but it actually doesn't. You can multiply it out if you want. What is the profit? I'm sorry, what is the cost? It says it's $34 per day. $34 per day. So the cost is 34x.
X is the number of days.
X is the number of rooms. It's dollars times rooms.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm sorry. This is not quite right. I apologize. It's $34 times the number of rooms. The number of rooms is 290 minus X.
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna get one of these.
This one's pretty tough. It's because it's only the occupied rooms that cost money, and X is the number of X is the number of rooms that are unoccupied. So yeah, I can see why this is difficult. I can see why this is a little bit frustrating, but it's okay. It's doable. It's doable here because, like, let's say X is 10. Let's just run through it. If X is 10, that means that they're charging 90 plus 10, $100. That's reasonable. And there's 290 minus X, or 280 rooms. Okay. So how many rooms do they have to service? They have to service the 280 rooms. That's why it's 290 minus X.
Okay.
All right. So now, again, you can multiply these out if you need to, but the number actually doesn't matter. Okay. So your profit is revenue minus cost. Okay. So this is minus X squared plus 200X plus 90 times 290 minus all of this, 34 times 290 minus 34X. Okay, so when you distribute the negatives here, you get minus X squared plus 200X plus 90 times 290 minus 34 times 290 plus 34X. And now you're trying to figure out max profit. So you need the derivative.
So minus 2x plus 200, 0 plus 34x.
Plus 34.
Oh yeah, sorry, 34.
Yeah. Now, again, like, see how these don't matter because they're 0 when you take derivative. That's why you do it. So you set this equal to 0. So you have minus 2x plus 234 equals 0. And you solve for x. X is 234 divided by 2. It's 167.
So wait, okay, like we did all of this. The thing is that this equation is like in certain problems, it's not in every problem. So like sometimes the question is like questions from like the old sections we studied before, but it's on what we're doing now. So I get confused. Like I get confused on what to do. Like sometimes I'm just like, okay, like this question is like clear.
Good.
Because it says marginal, but sometimes there are none of the words. There's just like a context for a problem.
Yeah.
Find that, but like
Well,
there's to help like guide me.
Sure. Well, let's see if we can get one more question, 43 in, but this is not the answer. This is X. The question is asking, this is very important here. What should the hotel charge per day? They're asking for the price, and the price is 90 plus X. So you have to take that number you just found and put it back into this.
Is the image, right? Not the.
This is not price.
Yeah, so we're gonna find X, plug it in, and then what we get is the price, correct?
Yes, exactly.
So here the point is to plug it in, not to just find the like the input.
Yes.
Output. Okay.
Okay. 43 is similar, and we got enough time to work most of it. So let's do that.
So when they ask for the price of something, it's always the output, right?
Not necessarily.
No?
It's like you said, I mean, because they could give you the price function. They could give you something for price. Okay, this one's similar, and I think if we do one more here, it'll make some amount of sense. Or makes it'll be clearer to you. So we need to figure out revenue. Revenue is price times quantity.
Can I try without you telling
We
me
we
the answer?
I would recommend just muting me then and let me finish off this because I got a hard stop here in 3 minutes.
Okay.
So it's $18 and it increases by $1. So that's plus X. The quantity is 44,000 minus 1,000 X. So that's 18, $1, 44,000 loses 1,000. So this is your revenue function. And you can FOIL this if you want. So it's 18 times 44,000 minus 18,000 X plus 44,000 X minus 1,000 X squared. So just rearranging this a little bit. And that becomes, I got too many, like 18,000. Okay, so plus 26,000 X plus 18 times 44, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now your cost function, it says every person at the game spends $8. So it's $8, but how many people are at the game? It's 44,000 minus 1,000 X. It's your quantity. This is Q, this is P. Okay. So your C of X is 8 times 44,000 minus 8,000 X. So your profit, again, is revenue minus cost. And one way to do it, like you said before, is to do profit prime equals revenue prime minus C prime. Okay, so I'll just go back up here. This is revenue of X. R prime is minus 2,000 X plus 26,000. And then C prime, we can do C prime right here, is minus 800. So the profit is minus 2,000 X plus 26,000 minus 800. So you set that equal to 0 and you get minus 2,000 X plus 26,800 equals 0. X equals 26,800 divided by 2,000, whatever that is. But again, that's just the reduction. So if it's asking for price, you have to put it back in here. If it's asking for quantity, you have to put it back in here. If it's asking for revenue, you put it back in the revenue line. Okay, so that is all I can do for now. Let me know if you want to schedule another lesson. I'd be happy to meet with you or do another Zoom like this. And good luck on your exam. I think you'll do okay if you work on some more of these problems.
Okay. Also, I have one more thing. If you could help me with it, but like not now, but like I'll send it to you.
Sure, go ahead and send it over and I'll take a look at it.
Because it's a grade scope thing, but like it's like all the models for every single type of problem.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and send it over by WhatsApp and I'll take a look at it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye now.